OG squad, and he's been on top of the scoreboard as well. Let's get into things then. It is going to be that pistol round. One expert believes OG has the edge, and a safe jiggle from Flames. I say safe, watch him lose his head to a double dink, but should be okay.
Probably a bit of a timer on this as well here. You can only say jumping and dancing in this position for so long. It's a heavy B lean right now out of OG. Nico, Alexi B, and Valde tending to that side of the map as Flames is smoked off, vision obscured, and now he's been pushed on back deep within that connector as, oh, okay. Easy as you like. Over top of the smoke there, he's found the opener.
Yeah, and they've got the retake package, Chad. They got 2 nades, smoke,
Flames?
kit. Flames is all you need. What was that? He's taken the whole squad down. His only shock. Give it to him, boys. He's got no bullets. He'll have to opt for another. Mantu steals it away. So this is the OG luxury. I guess you just play 4B.
Yeah.
Flames defense A.
It's pretty good. It's a nice strategy. You see it pay off in buckets and spades, rather. That was absolutely phenomenal. You're talking about the retake utility. Yeah. Flames has heard you. He said, what utility? I'm getting it done on my own. What a one-man army.
I was just sitting there taking stock of what they had for this, and he goes and finds them all. He had 2 backs turned, and then this.
The pivot.
Yeah, onto B-stick. Lovely work from Flames.
It knocked Alex off his chair.
It really did.
He couldn't believe it.
Absolute disbelief. I nearly did a backflip.
Okay, well, Yanko was saying, could be right, could be wrong, that he was saying that Sinners like to hit the B-bomb site. Well, they didn't go that way on pistol, and they're not grouped up to do that right now.
Oh, you know what I reckon the toggle on is?
The toggle on?
Yeah, from Flames.
Oh.
Like, I mean, not saying he was bad in their opening games. He just was, you know, he was a very middle of the pack, middling gamer. He was on 50 ping playing from home. He flew
into the boot camp, didn't he?
He's joined them in the boot camp. Maybe this is like that first officials in the boot camp. You're feeling extra juiced.
Extra juiced. Let me know the 10, 15 ping. They're playing from, I believe, Copenhagen. So they're known to have some decent latency over there. Look, it is a bit of a buff. You do feel good.
And he's fist bumping with his teammates again. You know, I think that's definitely going to be leaving him feeling on cloud 9. Mantu with a lovely collection into the Sinners Deagle. Okay,
well, could have had one, got away with none.
Would have loved one.
The problem here, maybe it's not a problem. If this is just flat from Sinners, it's going to kind of hurt a bit because the first 2 games were very competitive. It was a great showing on Nuke. I really liked Inferno. I don't want this to just be an OG stomp.
And is that, are you setting that precedent now at round 2 because you suspect it might be?
One of the things with these teams, right, is they might lose a little bit of steam because they fought very hard in that double OT game, right? And they also put a lot into that Inferno game, even though the scoreline maybe not reflecting it in that second half. So the thing is, OG, they're used to losing their own map peaks all the time. They're used to having to come back in maps all the time. So for them mentally, they're probably more accustomed with this environment right now, whereas Sinners, they're going to have to push their limits.
See Valde dropping an interesting smoke there. I wonder if he's got vision around that in any capacity, but B-stick could be caught out by this. There's 2 CTs. Oh, spotted. Spotted and not dead. B-stick's going to be mad about that one. It's info for sure for the T side, and with Valde dead B apps, that could be a gap. Zedko's already posted up short, so there's a real opportunity here, and I think they want to seize it. There's 3 converging in, and they know at least where 1 is. Neofractor lock down that rotate through mid. Shock finds the necessary frag, and this should be a Sinners round. There should be very little for Nico and Flames to do about this, but jumping into the AWP does leave just Flames yet to die with an AK-47 to hold on to.
Might get another kill here in Connector. Neofrag is just hanging around. Still quite the healthy prize Chook is Neofrag, 99 points of health. Chook is Australian for chicken, for everybody playing at home.
Got reminded of Cadian's and Analyst Desk antics in that video.
Yeah,
chicken.
with chicken.
With chicken.
Funny time that. A lot of the Counter-Strike that you watched in those highlights was people just holding W.
Mad.
Lots of W.
Watching, like, even Happy's Deagle Ace, you know, you watch that back, it's like, guys, there's a minute on the clock.
50 seconds.
What are we hard committing for when there's smokes down?
Isn't it crazy, like, how the game has changed so much, right? Like, the maps, obviously, that's the biggest thing when people look at it, but even just the way teams have been approaching a lot of situations. So Great from Sinners there. And that was with a man disadvantage. They responded with that trade onto Valde, or I guess we'll call it a kill elsewhere on the map, and then were able to snowball the round. So really good stuff. Very important round for Sinners to make sure what I was talking about with them getting steamrolled doesn't come to fruition. But that was an OG bonus round of sorts, and you can see that now reflected in their purchase. Mantu will get a glass cannon. Everybody into the M4s. There's diffuse kits. There's enough utility to make the gun round work. However, Sinners are sitting more pretty with their purchase. And that was a B bomb site hit, right? It wasn't necessarily the start of the round call to end B, but the kills came their way, and that's where they finished. And right now, they're looking like they want to head back in that direction. Mid control on the docket. B stick passive towards T spawn. Shock holding the B push, and Oscar overseeing proceedings with his AWP in middle.
Yeah, but this flash is everything, but Lexi turns it beautifully. Intentional or otherwise, it's resulted in an opener. And he slipped away as well, unscathed. Big plays out of the Alexi camp. 5 versus 3, very early into our 4th round of play. He's actively fighting this. He knows that Oscar may not be perfectly prepared, but he was. And quick to the draw. If they find Nico, ooh, Neo frag, yeah, tagged and fragged. Good work from the partnership of Nico and Flames. Valde did just slip past them. I wonder how deep of a clear Beastic's willing to do with the bomb on his back. Maybe not thorough enough.
Just Mantu on the site here. Valde will clamp down late, but they have to get past Mantu's AWP. Valde's heard this. Oh my god, that was quick. Watch Valde get the final kill here. Oscar's going to be back turned, looking the wrong way. Bullets in the back of the dome, and there you go. OG get their 3rd. Okay, good response. And through Alexi there being ready and raring to go for the fight, coming up into the vent room.
Yeah, I mean, Sinners going to be feeling a little hard done by with the pop flash from Oscar being exactly where it needed to be. Mantu getting his opening and closing frags on that B-bomb site. Valde with the final frag indeed from behind. But yeah, a little hard done by. Alexi not getting denied on that flash that he did essentially swallow.
Mac 10 and a Deagle. The buy is out. The AKs are in, and once again, the prevalence for this B-bomb site out for Sinners here. 4 players up in the B apartments right now. Neofrag to stretch his legs in middle, try and make some room for the team. Creeping up along catwalk, the smoke gonna land to guise his push. Denied by one of his own. He's gonna go through.
Oh, I like this from Neofrag. It's the perfect opportunity to strike while the iron is hot and the backs are turned. It's only Mantu, and he's been spotted out now. It results in another from Shock. And OG confronting their demons on B. Nice finds from the Sinners.
It's curious, right? Valde and Nico play together on the Dust 2 B-bomb side as well, and I think we saw against VP that VP just had this prevalence of trying to split B, go B, and they absolutely just own them, right? So let's see if they're able to hit their stride again and start to lock things down there. They were caught out of position. The cat push sealing their fate, and well, at least we're continuing this one to be competitive. Back and forth we go within the early stages. Sinners respond 3-2. Now this is going to be a bit of a slow build here, I think. So one of these teams is really able to start getting a slew of rounds together. Flames can drop a rifle. Alexi B could potentially drop an SMG, and maybe Mantu could operate with a scout here if they want to keep these rounds as tight as they can. Or they could also just opt to go for a bit of a save. Now, look, with only 1,900 coming into the next round, I think the option is the drop. And there you see Famus getting purchased, an M4 as well, and Mantu will be operating with the Deagle. Now, yeah, you can just... The coaches don't have a good time, do they?
No, I mean, every time.
Never having a good time.
I mean, like, if they win, it's supposed to have happened. If they lose, it's not supposed to have happened, and that's essentially the perpetual state you swing between.
Yeah, and you have zero control.
Oh, yeah.
You just sit and you're the passenger.
That's the Serenity Prayer, right? Accept the things I cannot change. Well, technically, Rugger, you can't change anything now. You just have to sit back and watch as this one transpires. Oh, Neofrag, that is clinical, and he can just slip away. It's all a fake. The head in B. 4 members hunting down Mantu, and the dude's got nothing more than a Smoke grenade and a bullet to the belly finishes him off. That is a full 5 Sinners stack converting onto B.
Yeah, and it couldn't look any better for what Janko was saying towards the tail end of that death segment, right? The first 2 rounds, the first rounds, Sinners tried to go A. The second round, they just spread out with the Deagles. The third round finished on B, right? They've had a lot of B attempts here. It's just been... Look, normally with this, a lot of teams like to do the mid-control into the A splits, right? They like to do the A hits. I think what NeoFrag just did there is going to keep them guessing, because that just all appeared out of nowhere. 1 second, there's no action. The next second, there's multiple frags across the map, and OG will be scratching their heads again. Is it weird that Rugger is Danish and he's not at the boot camp?
It could be considered weird, but I reckon it's probably as easily explained as he wants time at home.
Yeah, because I guess
the young'uns.
He could go to the boot camp and do the stuff in person with the team and still have all the meals and do all that kind of stuff, right? And
Certainly, and then go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the boot camp is within, I don't know where he lives, you know, he might be like one of those forest boys, like
yeah,
Natu,
with Pimp or something.
Lives up in the woods somewhere.
With a jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi, and I don't know. I think he probably tends to the deer.
The deer?
Yeah, he has like a local bastion of deer.
Right, of deer.
I don't think bastion's the collective term, but...
The deer. Well, this shouldn't get interesting. It doesn't. That's one of the rifles dropped, and now it should just be 4 to 5 as Sinners are on the cusp of sealing the round advantage.
Oh. Hey.
You like the crowd. It's crazy watching back. You guys were in the break waiting for the game to return, or if you were here expecting to tune in to watch. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Oh, Zedko was like, what? I'm stuck on something. There's something blocking me. Hang on.
Valve, please.
There's a weird clipping issue I've got here.
And what was I saying? Watching the highlights.
Watching the highlights, crowd.
Yeah, the crowds and stuff. It just feels like such a foreign concept. I know we all would prefer that to be back.
Like it existed. It was a world we used to live in.
You've got this Counter-Strike that's like just sealed in this like crispy online environment. I like to see these teams getting more and more into boot camps. Though, like if everybody was at a boot camp space, that's the closest thing we could possibly get to LAN.
To our online LAN.
Okay. But saved rifle, a knife kill for Volder. I'm sure his bank balance is going to be happy with that. Here we go. It just seems silly at this point, doesn't it? He's trying to get out of there. What am I stuck on? Dead.
Just that, you saw that momentary turn where he's like, there's someone
like
here.
Fishy about
something
this.
Fishy. I'm still in the smoke. Because I guess that's also it, is when it's a smoke in particular, you aren't, unless you're looking at your mini-map, you don't track and process that you've just stopped moving until a little too late. Certainly doesn't complain. Valder's got an extra bit of cash to splash, and he's opted to flush himself with a full belt of util. Mantu's birthday recently. Looks like the balloons are still holding on.
You normally get a good like 3 to 4 days, I think, and then by about day 5 or 6, they start to look a little bit saggy.
Yeah, you come home and they're all on the floor and the cat's eating them. or not.
Wait, does that happen to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jasper, he had the whole, you know, like the string that the balloon's attached to just coming out of his bottom.
Oh.
We were like, Jasper, what have you been up to?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Quite the extraction operation.
I can imagine. Maybe the vet called in. Okay, well, ready to be tested on this B bomb side.
There's a good little flash
duo.
if you need a Nico tutorial. In the meantime, NeoFrag is
Very
working
sneaky.
his solo mid-venture. Yeah, I mean, you put your best
Coming
player,
again, here we go.
And they're coming on in. Nico's ready to receive this time. Valder and Nico tested by the Sinners, and again, they're knocked down. Look at NeoFrag's positioning. Like, you may as well save.
Yeah, they are.
Like, he's going to hunt you.
How many times is he going to get away with this?
It's pretty sick. I mean, it really is, because you need someone that's going to not only hit his shots when he's given them, but also know when not to be positioned or exposing himself to his enemies.
You shouldn't be exposing yourself to anybody, guys.
Certainly not without permission.
Consent is key, but I think that you have a bit of a quandary here if you're OG. If you go for mid-control just to deal with NeoFrag, you're either going to leave the B-bomb site with just one defender, right? Because you want cap presence, window presence, and connector presence. Or you're going to leave A with no defenders because you bring the A player over to help mid and leave 2 on B.
Yeah.
And if you do that and instead they go for a gear shift and B-Stick decides to call an A finish round, then you're playing retake A. This is a hard puzzle to solve right now if they keep getting away with these. You need your B defenders to lock one of those rounds down, right? You need them just to dismantle it. And yeah, you can see the frustration. It's definitely mounting from everybody right now. Definitely Nico and definitely Rugger.
Yeah, definitely.
They're not hiding it.
No, they're under the skin. Sinners are under the skin of OG at this point. They've proven they plan to be competitive on our third. Chad was fearing that exhaustion would play a part of this, as well as just keeping up disappointment of losing a close overtime affair. The opportunity of, oh, Mantu here, aggressive. He should be good for one, guaranteed. It's getting out of here that's the issue. Smokes himself out of trouble. Gets away with murder. Nice, slinking away through the connector. He's activated again. Chad, I hate to say it, but right now he needs to be careful on B. And Neofrag starting his process once again.
Yeah, he just takes the mid control whenever he can. He's made it into connector. He's made it up short. He might even find another gap here.
They've got a smoke. They've got smokes from B side, like where B-Stick is now. They got smoke this time. He threw it from all the way T-spawn for that mid-window progress of Neofrag. It keeps the CTs guessing. Nico's even floating back to A with the information denial.
This is a nice change, though. Manitou up here ready to scope on down the B apartments. This could be the difference maker. And there it is. They just step on out. So trying to do too much dry here. Now it is on Neofrag to find that room. 40 seconds left. He needs to be the one to initiate here. He slipped past the sight line of Nico. Flames under the balcony. Peppered on up. They now know the jig is up.
Yeah, but Neofrag, if he just continues to surge into the A site, he's actually opted to lock down the, excuse me, the B side rotate. So at 20 seconds, that bomb is heading A, and realistically, it's on Nico. Certainly is now. Neofrag activated, bomb being planted, and oh, he got him straight through the boxes. Panic stations for the Sinners. They need to plant now. Neofrag looking for a safe haven. Nico being very aggressive. It results in his death. And now Mantu up the creek, no paddle, 2 to find. Smoked off for now, trying his luck with some pot shots. But Sinners have recovered, and they were just willing to go between the two sites there. Quick reactions from them. I got a message from OG.
Yes. Well, the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rugger does not live in Copenhagen, where our bootcamp is happening. Also, he just got his newborn a few days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I thought as much. So that must be another bit of responsibility for him. He's got a coach.
Well, it's not deers. That's close, though.
It's close.
Don't know if they need as much care as a deer, a baby child. But,
I imagine they would.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just
okay. Well, that's good info.
Certainly is.
Live updates. Isn't that nice? Okay. Well, 6-3 and problems for OG here. I wanted to point out the little detail there. Oscar throwing the smoke from B apartments to land on Catwalk, and then the molly from B-Stick as he is coming up through connector was great because they already had the game plan they were going to plant open. That smoke and molly combo denied dying from Cat pushing through connector and give you the buffer to be able to plant. Nico was lucky to get that kill through the box. Now, it didn't get them the round, but this is a dream for Sinners. They had this on Inferno. They had a great T-haul. They need to do the same here. I still can't believe they've come out and they're pushing OG so much today. Thought we were going to see the class of OG here, but Sinners showing they're not that much further behind the pack.
They really aren't. And Neofrag's even got a not a bad opportunity onto Mantu here around the smoke.
Oh, the head.
Yeah, it's the tiniest margin separating these guys, and pressure onto Flames as well. Neofrag walks straight on into Alexi, and OG's pistols are starting to be threatening. This was a half buy. Sinners looking to stabilize a little bit here. All of the CTs are on A, can't control the spray, loses vision. B-Stick onto Nico. That's AWP from Mantush does connect as the smoke fades. And we've got so much time here. I think they are going to cut noise and at least pause for a moment's thought. Piece yourselves back together again, because you lost a lot of players, lost a lot of weapons, lost a lot of map. I like the flash from Oscar. It's a quick way to serve its purpose of implying T's could be rotating around the map at this point. Smoked off Palace. It looks a bit fruity, actually. Is there a gap? Nah.
Maybe a little one, but I think Oscar will be able to play around this. Lexi B on the wrong side of the map now with Boulder. He's crept past the magic line and pulls off the frag. That was huge.
Oh, he needed that. Zedko's going to be pretty miffed.
Save call. You don't love to hear it, but I know he's got 12K. I don't think Oscar can be going for this one. And now he doesn't really have a choice because I think Alexi's going to take him out of the server before he gets a chance to get away.
He'll have to hit the drive-by Deeg. Not going to happen. Great round out of OG. Just a simple passive Kevlar and Deegly opts for the double AWP last second.
Yeah, now that's curious because when Mantu was AWPing earlier, he was able to find a lot of impact. Maybe now they just post a secondary AWP up to B and just really lock down that corridor. But great shot there from Volder. And going towards A on, I want to call it the anti-eco, right? I guess it was more of an eco scenario. It was just the saved gun. Maybe to try and show OG that they're happy to hit that site. But when it doesn't profit, it almost works against you. Alexi B with the movement. Up and over he goes. Short is where he scoped on in.
Yeah, Zedko's taking a bit of a chance here, but he loses vision and his life. Alexi B claws OG into a man advantage early, and he doesn't seem done. Using his own smoke to drop a nade at the toes, and yeah, frag chipped away at just a little bit. Yeah,
when you get Alexi B into this mode where he seems to just start taking a lot of these heads-up decisions. Last round, you know, he was aggressive and connected, got that kill on Neo frag. This round, taking that secondary AWP. This is him getting his team in a power position, and now they just have to close.
Good flash. Alexi wants to have a look on that, and then they take their fights. Flames the first. And a man to another. Just picking them apart. Nibbling at what remains of the bones of Sinner's attack. Round 11 is all OG. Keep it spotless as well if they hunt down Oscar. Very similar scenario for the poor soul. Step straight into the line. Lovely stuff from OG. They get to keep everything. 2 AKs make it 3 and 2 AWPs. It doesn't get more threatening for a CT weaponry list.
Yeah, that right there just seemed not too easy, but it felt like OG knew everything that was coming, especially after that opening kill. But let's see if they start returning to more of these B hits. That was what was working early for Sinners. And you'd really hate it if losing to those upgraded Deagles and the saved AWPs was the unraveling of their T-half, because now they lost that one. They've lost a follow-up gun rounds. They need a response here to kind of shrug that one off. And looks like they have this stubbornness towards A still. Faster mid. Mantu misses, but lives to tell the tale.
Oh, that's the punish. That's the change-up from OG. They've stopped Neofrag in his tracks. His project in mid this time bears no fruit. And Zedko's had a very quiet time so far here on the T side. He's been kept honest and kept on that goose egg even into our, what is it now, 12th round of play.
Oh, he's got to be careful here. Nico's having a look. If Nico makes a sound cue, which he will, Zedko will convert. Easy as you like. 4v4 now, starting to get lured into the potential for that B play. They've given away a pretty bad death there, all things considered. 3-pronged A split here. B stick through app, shock ramp. Zedko can come up through that jungle position now that he's got control of window. And Oscar's actually pivoting back. I think they've changed the call here. Shock's falling back with that bomb as well. Something spurred them to change their tacks. Oh, and what a shot from Flames. Whoa. Active.
Yeah, he's just always ready. Took a quick glance and yeah, Palace is gone. They start to wrap the noose around the necks of the A defenders, but Valda, oh, his timing is impeccable. And he will catch Oscar on the crawl. Great management of his angles, good understanding, and looks like Zedko not quite done with this round yet. He'd have to do it all, as Alexi has collected onto Shock, and Zedko just going to be caught faffing around with the retrieval of that AWP for Oscar. OG tied 6-6. And there's loads of cash in the coffers as well, so OG set for the one-out half here. We haven't seen Sinners show much evidence that they can return to that B site yet, as Chad was demanding.
I think they haven't tried.
Yeah?
They've just been limping towards A, yeah. So maybe now off the back of the timeout, they'll go back to it, but this is where it becomes easy to read. If you're sitting there having the conversation in this 30 seconds, if you're OG, what worked? The B hits. What's probably coming? A B hit. What are we going to do differently? I don't know. That's the mystery.
Please, sir, I have a suggestion.
Yes?
Well, because we've got double AWPs, can we just dispatch whoever's got the spawn over for a little Aggie line on B, and we can react off that very early info from a nice secondary AWP.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe whack a guy on ticket with it or watching mid, get Flames close ramp and play 2 rifles close short and go for a bit of a brick box boost. Because that way, if it is the B rush, you can have the AWP ready to pop a couple shots. You can have the rifles close to help. You can have them helping connector and all that kind of...
And Neofrag's funny business in mid will be corralled by the bricks double and the boost, perhaps.
Bang. We're thinking on our feet now,
aren't we? I like the setup, and it is 3B.
Oh, wow.
Going to be sending Mantu's AWP, and even Sinners heading towards this side of the map as well. Chad, it's like you've played this game before.
Are we in the game right now? What's going on?
I think we might be. The variation is the 2 play apps and the AWP plays mid. Still same result.
Oh, they know it's coming, don't they? They can feel it in their bones.
Yeah, the only exception is this underpass that Alexi's overseeing. Sinners second-guessing themselves a little bit here. Hoping for a CT aggress.
Was that smoke scuffed? Did it have a bit of a
bit.
gap? Yeah, that means there's not really going to get the peel off here from Volder to check things out. So, skew if.
I think Alexi's convinced there's some funky business in the underpass. I can't believe he's gotten away with that. He had an AWP on his back. It could have really been the beginning of the end, but jumps down, spots him out, confirms that they are back to B, corralled that way. Sinners really feeling a bit silly at this point. They've been waiting 30 seconds. Zedco's been parked in this corner the whole time. They just haven't been given what they've been waiting for. Don't forget, Shock's been in Palace this whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing now. Like,
game plan.
We're sub 40 seconds. The underpass play, is it a double pump? Oh, it's a double. What, they're going A?
Yeah, they are.
The bomb's going through T-spawn.
They're boosting window, though, and it's actually a little gap. Flames, if he's aware it's a possibility, that's quite the shot out of Mantu. Neofrag is a slight element of surprise, no longer an OG.
Oh.
Solid defense, a shot out of Shock, and he'd love a plant here, Oscar. But Alexi's holding the line, and call that 7.
Different way to do it, but yeah, you could see the idea there from Sinners starting to manifest in the final moments. Now, 7-6, if we take a look at the round recap, the last 4 in a row have gone in the favor of OG. So they've wrangled back this half that was once again, similar as Inferno, looking like they were going to be on the receiving end of a potential 9-6, 10-5. Definitely nothing as respectable now as what they could be on their hand, getting the 9-6. So here we go. It's returning to this B lean, Alex. Check this out. They've given up on their fast mid control. They've given up on their A splits. They're just going back to what worked. Have they exhausted the amount of B attacks they can get away with here today?
Ooh, good util. It does give them a battle 1 for control of mid. And they don't even have to lose a player for it. So they'll take that all day long. Quick resmoking of the window buys them another 18 seconds to hang out. Mantu is in that underpass, which is a bit fruity. Alexi, what an angle from him. He will collect, and the sound cue heard. Mantu can strike. It's a little unorthodox, but that's still a frag. Neofrag was not expecting that. Shock to hunt Mantu, plays anti.
Oh,
he's too
that
good.
Is brilliant.
Too good, and he's even got the route out. He can disappear through B.
It's all coming together now for OG. Really picking up some steam here.
And I don't even think it's to the discredit of Sinners either. I just think OG are just looking a bit more like themselves here, like the team that have gone undefeated in their group. And Sinners just those small, nuanced touches, sometimes a little absent. Like, they've got the work of art, you know, they've got the main body of the painting. They've put all the hard work in. The work of art is finished. It just needs those final touches, the little fine liner, a little bit of an eraser.
Yeah, I just think that it was the Deagle round that has kind of spiraled them, because I think the part of their game plan was to get an A round to work, which would mean that OG would have to stay in a standard setup, and then late in their T-half they could go back to hitting B. But because they didn't get away with that A round against the Deagles, they had 2 more rounds where they still tried to go A and they just couldn't convert. And now we find ourselves here, 8-6. And I get what you mean now with OG, you know, maybe them looking a little bit more like themselves. I think that they're being much more confident, like the way that Nico's just walking out, Cat taking fights, Volder doing the same, Mantu in the underpass here, Alex taking a couple of biffs. They're playing more confidently here and actually starting to settle on in to map number 3.
And I mean, Sinners probably as well, intentional or otherwise, have managed to avoid Flames, who's been having a really hot series. He is the A player, and so perhaps leaning into their B defense. We haven't seen Flames really activated.
He hasn't had to do a lot since the pistol, has he?
No, he did go 4 in the pistol. Now he's got 9 total. So over the course of the rest of this half, the 13 rounds of additional play, he's got just 5 frags.
All right, well, let's see. Can they salvage anything here, Sinners? And this is more for confidence sake. Wouldn't it suck to go out knowing that you were in a scoreline that was 6-3 and you walk away from the half 9-6? So just 1 round here on the nose would be tidy. It would probably make them feel like they have a chance when they flip on over towards that CT side. And look, if we're going to have the discussion in the realms of a decent half, 6 rounds on the T side is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with 6 on the T half at all.
Yeah, and the circumstances, you know, by which you gain them can differentiate how confident you're feeling. But 6 is 6. It's as simple as that. 7th certainly wouldn't go awry. Looks like we are ready to get back underway, and Nico with a fresh restart. We can fly on into the final round of our 3rd map's first half.
You can see just how rough the buy is going to be for Sinners here. Mac 10, 2 Galils. It's not the end of the world. It could be much, much worse. They are lacking a couple of Molotovs on Neofrag and Oscar, but they'll make do with some flashes and some smokes. Even some decoys for good measures. Measures or measure?
Measures. Measure.
Yeah.
For good measure.
You measure once. No, measure twice, cut once. That's how the saying goes. Wow, who would have thought? A B hit again. Valder, Nico, can you do it this time round?
They dump their util. It's pretty solid. It works out wonderfully for a pair of frags between the 2 of them, and Nico still lives on. Found out to pay quite the price, and some util drop by Nico that enables him to play around it for a double. Now that's a solid B defense out of Nico, and it is for the 9th. Edging OG further ahead. Beastick's the last to fall. OG 9. Sinners 6. And we do need to take a break to catch our breath before we can fully find out whether or not OG will be locking themselves in right here, right now, or if Sinners can continue to close the gap. It has been quite the game to get us here. I mean, for Sinners, they really impressed. They came in with Nuke. They managed to lay down enough to put us onto a third. OG admittedly did respond, but they're pushing the top of the group here, Sinners, and they've already done that to G2. That's the reason they turned heads in the first place. Let's see if they can pop heads to continue to push OG, who no doubt are the favorites. 1xBet's been leading their way the majority of the time, and a 9-6 half pointing the way of the now T side. OG have got full A util here.
Yeah, and looks like Sinners are ready. They've got beastic touching in towards Sandwich, Zedco under the balcony, Shock helping out from Spawn, and Neofrag over towards Jungle. 1xBet odds are swung back in OG's favor, and here we go.
beastic and Zedco need to tap a head or two. Alexi keeps it level. Oh, caught a glimpse of a leg through the smoke, but that doesn't stop Neofrag getting 1.5. It puts it into a manageable circumstance for Oscar, and they're clearing CT, which gives him a bit of a gap. And the info as to where they're going.
He knows.
He's aware. He's wise to their antics. And if that divider is open, which it is, he'll have a great line of sight on their cross. Oh, he couldn't even finish it. Valda brought down to 1 as Mantu saves his ass. And did I read his stats correctly? Did Mantu only die 4 times in the first half?
He's doing a bit of saving, wasn't he, with the AWP?
16 and 4. Dude's got a KD off the charts.
Alexi only died 4 times as well, according to this. So, look, we'll assume that there's no funny business that's gone on there. But this is now looking like an OG series to close. The pistol round is great. Sinners on some of these 4 spies, especially with the scout in the hands of Zedco, have been looking threatening. They've picked up a few. See if they can apply any pressure here. They'll need to do that right here, right now. And the tag is in. Zedco's landed the bullet, but not the frag. Flames loves an entry. Oscar mops it up, and into B they go, continuing to milk a few. And, well, in response, Oscar stands tall. 3 on 3, the bomb goes down.
Yeah, that's not too shabby, you know, and the nade could have been destined for greatness as well, a little shy of the mark. And they're being hunted. Close the gap, nice tight left corner taken by Valda. They're just not going to be expecting this. And with his short and stubby Mac-10, it's unscoutable. Speaking of, I don't know if he's going to keep hold of his scout.
Very deep smoke again. We've seen a couple flubbed from OG today. Let's see. Any dramas? Oh, left, right, left, right.
Yeah, and perhaps good night for Neofrag. He's got 4 HP, has to get the hell out of dodge. The bomb's too far gone, and, well, Oscar's trying to take one with him. He will hit the necessary tag. But everyone's going to get away scot-free. 2 players' hearts beating in both squads. A Galil preserved and a Mac-10 scout pair for the CT. Sinner's going to be running out of options, though. It's going to be a very long road for them to close the gap that OG managed to recruit. I mean, how did they get at the tail end of that half? It was 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It was great stuff from OG, right? You pair that with the pistol, and now they've got that in the second half. It's the recipe here for success. Rugger's still stressing out. You got the round, it's okay. He's probably not getting much sleep at the moment with the new baby.
Yeah.
Shock's been given the deagle from Neofrag, so they have a deagle, a Mac-10, and a scout to work with here. 1 flashbang for good measure, and let's see. Are they able to apply any pressure here, or will this be quite the easy 12th for the international roster that can? Setting up some util over towards A. Alexi spotted one close here, and that might be the go signal on towards B. It's been a bit of a fake, as they've made their way onto the site. Dinked up USP, cannot convert, and, well, that should be all she wrote.
Zedco just has to get on the mic and say, yeah, 1's 2 HP.
Dinked him.
Oh, he gets checked, so maybe a little Mac-10 for someone. There you go.
That's $600 as well there for Neofrag, so be happy with that.
Oscar hits the drive-by scout, and maybe Valdez Galil's up for debate here.
Well, if they had a little bit more pep in their step, they could have unraveled an extra kill or 2 here. Now it's just about doing damage on the way out the door. So what is the path of least resistance for OG to save what they've invested in? Looks like B-App's looking good.
beastic. He's like sticking around in a promising scenario for the save. If they do start gathering towards him, he's got Shock from top mid as well.
Yeah, the thing is they don't need to go any further than about here. They did take Flames down. It was just an SMG, and the rifle should be held onto. So all good in the hood for OG. 12 now, 4 to close. And if you're tuning in going, where the bloody hell is Complexity versus VP? Well, the overtime game, or double OT game, plus a pretty drawn-out affair on Inferno, and then Steam deciding it wanted to go down for about 20 to 30 minutes, has put us in a position where we might be a little bit behind the 8 ball. But don't worry, VP are coming. They're going to speed that one up. I didn't really have any sarcasm or... No. Just in case you guys missed it, that was a joke.
Here's the full info that there's absolutely no one being, and it's rare as a CT squad you get that info this soon. It may be all for naught if Flames just walks in and decides the A site's his. He's got the bomb on his back, but that's not going to stop him. Great catch on the aggress on B. They know where you're coming from, at least here this time. Sinners know where you're at. I don't know how every bullet that leaves Flames' gun is connecting right there.
Jumping AK through the smoke, 3v3.
Yeah, tagged him up. Oscar's been put on notice by that. You got to start going for these soon. Smoke, kit, you've got all the bits and bobs you'd desire. He knows where Valder is. He's not found any connections, and they're taking their time here. I don't think they're really crawling in. B-Stick's testing the limits now, and Valder onto Zedco will probably be the end of them. They've got 1 bullet left in the mag, and only a Mac 10 for poor old B-Stick. Call it 13. They got full cash to splash into the next. So Sinners, it's time to prove your worth.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about, the fizzle, right?
Yeah,
in that first half,
feeling the fizzle.
Yeah, definitely could have been a lot more. 6, like I said, 6 isn't bad for a T half, but the CT half was where they had problems on Inferno as well, right? They just couldn't keep up. They just couldn't keep up at all. And Flames, off the back of a fantastic series, is continuing that good form right here, right now. And Alexi B getting fired up. This series, you know, being on top of the group, going undefeated, Manti having a bit of a giggle. It does mean a lot, right? To go undefeated in your group, or we know what the ramifications here are. Look, Sinners lose this, they're not out. There is a technical way that they can still make it into the playoffs, but OG, by winning this series, secure themselves a top 3 placing. Whether that's first, second, or third, we don't know just yet.
Very quiet on Mirage. Smoke from the CTs from short side has given Neofrag something to play around. And Oscar's, he's in the right place. He suspects B, and he'd be right to do so. They've just deployed a smoke in apps that will buy them some time. But yeah, 3 CTs up against OG. This is for Sinners just to prove that they are ready to fight. Flames, first to die. Oh, that's more from Zedco. You couldn't ask for more than 2, and well, he's delivered it. It will be Molotoved into a less than favorable duel, but it should be on his teammates to finish the job. B-Stick and Oscar, they've started to show themselves in the feed and in the server. There you go, 7. Sinners pass the test on B.
And that's going to be the key right here. If they want to win, remember we spoke about the issues on Inferno that was not getting multi-kills? Well, getting a multi-kill there is great. It stalls the map completely. Even though the rotation for Sinners was already in the right place, they're able to mop up any mess that may continue.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of times we've been in Flames' POV as he jumps out B-Apps, and it's always boots on the ground, fragging around. It's probably quite a nice change-up for them.
Yeah, look, OG can buy. It's no dramas here, and they're going straight into an A set piece. Alexi B down to a Tech 9. We saw what Neofrag did with that on Nuke. He's clearing mid right now. Shot getting up close and personal towards Shadow. Oscar overseeing things with the AWP, and they are out. Flames, that is huge. A bomb site. It's looking like OGs. They trade efficiently. They are in.
Oh, no. That's just bare bones, keeping it simple, stupid. A take Flames, the pointy end of the OG spear, and he just comes straight through with the frag necessary.
Onto the AWPer, nonetheless,
yeah.
right? The fact that the flashes were perfect. Oscar's sitting there looking at a white screen. Next minute, bullets are in his head, and he's dead. Cannot contribute at all. That was fantastic work. You know, we talk about entry fraggers. Their job is to make space, right? And some of those entry fraggers are the ones who just run out and kind of die, but they've made some space. Flames is just smashing windows and taking bodies with him. Fantastic work right there. 14. 2 saved guns, a bucket of utility. You're not that tall, boys.
Yeah, just a little experiment. Everyone saves their goodies, but yeah, chance is starting to run out. They're running light for the Sinners, and after a great solid defense, it's immediately responded with a kick down of the door, as you put it, from Flames. Yeah, he really did just to take the round into his own hands.
Well, they get an AWP out for Oscar again. They'll call a timeout. They're second so far in this third map of play, but really running out of chances now. Sinners. It's been competitive. They've shown that they're no slouch, taking it against a bunch of different opponents here within the Pro League. Worked their way up, season 33 from ESL Open. Made it into main, over to advanced, and then Premier all the way up here to the Pro League.
And now making all of those teams in their group acknowledge their existence and have to knuckle down. This is the third map. This is a overtime game on map 2. You know, like, this is far from a open and shut case against the Sinners. They've continued that part of their journey. And don't forget OG's journey for a while upon their inception. Pre-roster mania was just losing map picks and harrowing losses at LAN events to the point where they were just felt like they were one step away from greatness. Well, topping your group at Pro League Season 14 certainly is a big step towards that goal.
Yeah, it's a good way to kick off the season as well, right? So
yeah.
OG going to have a couple of weeks here, if they do win this one, to prep for those playoffs, taking place starting on the 7th of September.
Also, just because of how many good teams are in Pro League, like, just dodging that round of 12 is a real nice luxury. Let some of the fat be trimmed. Flash the ladder side, but they aren't ready for short. Zudko's fallen out of that. And this mid to B 3-2 split. Zedko's kind of isolated. I fear for his life here. He's got nades thrown on his nose. They're coming through. Inflames' bullets again find their mark. Oh, it's so suppressing. Something from someone. It's Neofrag with it all to do. He's needing multi-kill, and Valda denies it. Reeks of 15. Shock holds on to a prized weapon for Oscar to defend their honor.
I think the writing's on the wall here.
It is.
And I don't think we could tell the story anymore, so that they've come and they've put up a fight. I think now it's just about the discussion, what happens in this group. And if you were paying attention earlier in the day, the desk have covered it off. We'll continue to do so throughout the day. But regardless of this result, Sinners still have a chance. OG are guaranteed one of the top 3 slots. We don't know which just yet. There will be more matches throughout the day here, and every single match and each result, even maps, are going to help determine, come the final day of play, which will be tomorrow, how this one all shapes up. Now, the cleanest possible way we can get it done today, let me just bring it up here so everybody is ready and raring with it. If OG win, Complexity win, and Fours win, then all 3 would be locked in for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that right there, if those results come through today, which we were discussing earlier, off of form right now, you would say that each of those names are the favorites in their matchups. Then we could have everybody locked in at the end of today. So keep your eyes peeled. Essentially,
that G2 Fours game is incredibly important for both of the squads. Fours can lock themselves in today with that win, and G2 can increase their chances tenfold with a win against Fours. So both teams are going to be giving it their absolute all. You get to see Jerry back in the server. And a new and improved Fours.
Desperate now.
Wow, yeah, that was a move of desperation. He's leaped into the underpass from the window. He's clawed one back on the other side of the map. Is Neofrag onto the lurk of flames, but remains to be seen how well Beastic can delay here on the B apartments. He's jumping for info. Mantu might get another shot. That's it. Oh no, Beastic loses his head. He was playing it safe. And with his knife out and his pants around his ankles, Mantu still gets the shot. Shock with a quick one. Bomb's already planted. It's up to Neofrag now. Shock is already down and out. And as you said, the writing was on the walls. Now it's just time to confirm. OG locked in to advance out of Group B. Top of the table, undefeated. OG, that's impressive. And truly tested by the Sinners, their adventure does continue.